Welcome back, Heartland family. This is Asim, and you're tuned into your #1 home for everything Heartland, where we dive deep into the emotions, journeys, and unforgettable moments that have made this series a part of our lives. If you believe in the power of storytelling, the beauty of second chances, and the magic of Heartland as much as I do, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss a moment with us. Today's video is truly something extraordinary, and honestly, I'm feeling emotional just thinking about it. We're diving into a moment we've all dreamed about, cried over, and prayed for: Ty Borden's breathtaking return in Heartland Season 19, Episode 1. After years of heartbreak, silent prayers, and the emptiness his absence left behind, Ty's homecoming promises not just answers, but a journey of deep healing, powerful reunions, and the rekindling of a love story we thought was lost forever. Grab some tissues, Heartlanders, because today we're not just watching a show, we're witnessing the start of a brand new chapter filled with hope, love, and the timeless magic that only Heartland can deliver. This episode is not just about shock, it's about reconnection, redemption, and rekindling lost hope. We'll walk through every powerful step: Amy's emotional reaction, Lindy's innocent recognition, Jack's wisdom, Lou's conflict, George's strength, Tim's tough but tender heart, and finally, that tear-jerking private conversation between Ty and Amy. So grab a warm drink, find a cozy seat, and let's step into one of Heartland's most unforgettable episodes together. Before we explore Ty's return, we have to go back to the very moment he left us. Ty Borden wasn't just a central character. He was the emotional heartbeat of Heartland. From a troubled teen placed on the ranch as part of his probation, to becoming a devoted partner to Amy, a father to Lindy, and a compassionate healer of animals, Ty's arc was a journey of growth, love, and redemption. His sudden death in Season 14 came as a shock. After being shot while protecting Amy and later dying from a blood clot, the world of Heartland, both on-screen and off, was shaken to its core. Amy's devastation was shared by every fan. The barn felt emptier, the air was quieter, even the horses seemed more solemn. Amy struggled, but she didn't give up. She found strength in Lindy, leaned on Jack's wisdom, and rebuilt her identity piece by piece. But even as she moved forward, the loss of Ty cast a shadow over everything. His memory was in every fence post, every trail ride, every whisper of the wind across the fields. And yet, fans never stopped hoping. Could there still be a miracle? Could Ty ever come back? Heartland's writers didn't just bring Ty back out of nowhere, they planted subtle seeds throughout Season 18, gentle nods that whispered to the audience that Ty's story might not be finished. There were moments when Amy would wake from dreams, her face wet with tears, murmuring Ty's name. Lindy, in her innocence, would say things like, "I saw Daddy in the clouds," or "I heard him in the barn." Jack would sometimes pause mid-sentence when talking about Ty, as if he sensed something deeper. These weren't just memories. They were clues, soft, emotional brushstrokes painting the backdrop for a return that would feel both magical and grounded. Season 19 of Heartland opens not with grand fanfare, but with a breathtaking, quiet stillness, the kind that hints something extraordinary is about to happen. The sky stretches wide and soft, brushed with hues of early morning blue. A gentle breeze stirs the fields, carrying with it the weight of unspoken hopes and old memories. Inside the barn, Amy gently brushes Spartan's mane, her movements steady but her heart heavy, her mind lost in the quiet ache of missing pieces. Nearby, little Lindy runs free through the fields, chasing butterflies under the open sky, a picture of innocence, unaware of the miracle about to unfold. And then it happens. The camera shifts toward the tree line, where the shadows seem to breathe. A figure slowly steps forward, older, worn by time but unmistakable: Ty Borden. The world itself seems to hold its breath. The light shifts, the air thickens, and in a single heartbeat, everything changes. Ty is home. When Amy looks up and sees him, disbelief floods her face. Her breath catches, The brush slips from her fingers and clatters to the floor. Her hands fall still against Spartan's warm coat. Her wide, tear-brimmed eyes lock onto the impossible sight before her, and she stumbles back, whispering, "No, it can't be." Ty steps forward, cautious but steady, the depth of years reflected in his eyes. "Amy," he says, just one word, but it carries the weight of 1,000 unspoken promises. His voice, though a little roughened by time, sounds like a song her soul never stopped singing. Amy moves toward him, trembling, unsure if she's still trapped inside one of her endless dreams. "Ty, are you real?" she whispers, her voice breaking with equal parts hope and heartbreak. Without a word, Ty reaches out and brushes his hand across her cheek. Real, solid, warm. In that fragile, breathtaking moment, the years of grief, the sleepless nights, the aching silence, all of it shatters. Amy collapses into his arms, sobbing against the chest she thought she'd never feel again. He holds her tightly, as if not even time itself could pull them apart again. And for one perfect moment, the world outside simply stops. Later, as the golden afternoon light spills through the barn doors, Amy sits beside him, needing answers, needing to understand how this miracle could be real. Ty explains, his voice raw with emotion. He had survived the attack but was left injured and disoriented. A kind stranger found him, cared for him, and for years, Ty lived without memory of who he was or where he belonged. Only recently had fragments of his old life returned, guiding him back to the family, the love, and the life he fought so hard to find again. "I knew," he says, his voice cracking. "I had to find my way home." Tears of sorrow melt into tears of unimaginable relief. Amy realizes this isn't a dream. He's here. He found his way back to her. Then comes the most heart-shattering moment of all. Little Lindy, with her tiny boots tapping softly on the barn floor, walks in, clutching a dandelion. She sees Ty kneeling by Spartan, studying him curiously. With the innocent wonder only a child can hold, she looks up at Amy and asks, "Mommy, who is that?" Amy, still shaken but composed, crouches down beside her daughter. "That's your daddy," Amy says. Lindy's eyes widen, her small hands clutching her stuffed horse tightly. She walks toward him slowly, curious but unafraid. Ty looks at her, overwhelmed. "Hi, Lindy," he says gently. "I'm your dad." Lindy pauses, studying him. Then, in the most innocent and powerful moment of the episode, she reaches out and touches his hand. "You look like the man in the picture next to my bed," she says with a soft smile. "I dream about you sometimes." Ty's eyes fill with tears. He kneels fully, wraps his arms around her, and holds her as if he never wants to let go again. Lindy pulls back just enough to look at him and says, "You smell like horses." Everyone laughs. And in that instant, the ranch feels whole again. Jack Bartlett, the solid rock of Heartland, brings his signature blend of wisdom and quiet strength as he navigates Ty Borden's shocking return. At first, Jack is frozen not in disbelief, but in awe of a miracle he had quietly prayed for but never expected. For years, he carried the grief of losing Ty like an old saddle, weathered, worn, but still strong. When he first lays eyes on Ty again, Jack's voice trembles slightly, betraying the flood of emotion beneath his calm surface. But as always, Jack's strength lies in how he processes these deep feelings with grace and insight. He doesn't rush toward Ty with questions or judgments. Instead, he steps back, observes, and gives space for Ty and Amy to reconnect, knowing that healing can't be forced, it must unfold naturally. Later, Jack sits with Ty in the barn where so many memories live. In that quiet moment, he says, "Life doesn't give us many second chances, son, but when it does, you hold on to them with everything you've got." It's not just advice. It's Jack opening his heart, showing Ty that forgiveness, love, and family will always be here. His eyes, heavy with experience, carry the depth of someone who has lost and loved deeply. Jack's emotional depth grounds the chaos of Ty's return, reminding everyone what Heartland has always stood for: loyalty, faith, and unconditional love. Georgie's journey has always been one of resilience, and her response to Ty's return reflects just how far she's come. As someone who looked up to Ty, not just as a mentor but as a father figure, his loss hit her harder than she ever admitted. It was Ty who believed in her when she didn't believe in herself. His return, therefore, unearths both buried grief and unexpected healing. At first, Georgie is stunned, silent, and wide-eyed, almost frozen in disbelief. She stares at him for a long moment, searching his face for familiarity, for answers. "Is it really you?" she whispers. But then the shock gives way to emotion, and she embraces him with the raw intensity of someone who never got to say goodbye. Later, she reflects on how Ty's return brings clarity to her own path. She's matured into a strong, independent woman, one who now sees the importance of embracing the unexpected. Georgie chooses to welcome Ty back with open arms, not only for Amy and Lindy's sake, but because she understands that life doesn't often give second chances. Her growth is evident in how she supports Amy without overshadowing her, quietly reminding her that it's okay to feel everything at once: anger, joy, love, and confusion. Georgie knows healing is a process, and she's ready to walk that path with her family. Lou Fleming's reaction to Ty's return is a powerful mix of emotion: conflicted, overwhelmed, yet tinged with hope. Lou has always been the pragmatic one, the planner, the fixer. She learned to keep her emotions in check, especially for Amy and Lindy's sake. But when she sees Ty standing at the ranch again, alive and changed, the structure she built to manage grief begins to crumble. 100 questions race through her mind. How is this possible? Where has he been? Why now? But despite her logical instincts, Lou can't help but feel a surge of joy rush through her chest. Her eyes well with tears as she approaches Ty cautiously, almost as if afraid he might vanish again. She tries to keep her composure for Amy's sake, but her voice cracks when she says, "We thought we lost you forever." Her emotions are raw, layered with the pain of watching her sister suffer and the strain of holding the family together. Lou knows this return will stir up unresolved feelings and old wounds, but there's also relief, a glimmer of hope. Hope that healing can begin in a new way. In private, she admits to Peter that she's scared for Amy, for Lindy, for how this will shift everything they've adjusted to. Yet beneath that fear is hope. Hope that this return might mean peace for Amy and a renewed sense of family for them all. Tim Fleming has always been a man of contradictions, gruff on the outside, fiercely loyal on the inside. He's stubborn, quick to anger, and often quicker to judge. But when it comes to family, his heart runs deep and true. Ty's shocking return in season 19 shakes Tim to his very core, and as always, he masks his rawest emotions the only way he knows how, with anger. The moment he sees Ty, years of buried pain surge to the surface. His voice is rough, almost accusatory, as he demands, "Where have you been? How could you let Amy suffer like that?" His words are sharp, but his eyes betray the truth. They glisten with unshed tears, red-rimmed from the weight of years spent mourning a man he loved like a son. Tim doesn't do well with shock. His instinct is to fight for control, to force logic onto a situation that defies it. "You have any idea what you put this family through?" he growls. But the break in his voice, the way he can't quite meet Ty's gaze, says everything he can't. Because beneath all the bluster, Tim's heart is breaking and healing all at once. Later, when no one is watching, Tim rides out to the fields, to the place where he once taught Ty to rope and ride. There, under the endless Alberta sky, he finally lets the dam break. He sinks to his knees in the tall grass, the silence swallowing his sobs as he faces the years of grief he buried beneath layers of pride. When he finally gathers the courage to speak to Ty again, really speak, it's in a rare moment of vulnerability. His voice is rough, almost unrecognizable, when he says, "You were gone, and I couldn't protect Amy or Lindy. I failed them." But Ty, steady and full of grace, shakes his head and answers softly, "You didn't fail, Tim. You kept them safe. You kept hope alive. And in that moment, the armor around Tim's heart finally cracks, allowing something rare and beautiful to shine through: forgiveness, love, and the beginning of healing. Yet perhaps the most heart-wrenching moment comes later, when the world quiets and it's just Ty and Amy, two souls trying to find each other again. They return to the old cabin by the lake, a sacred place woven with memories of laughter, dreams, and love. Inside, the silence is heavy, thick with grief, hope, and everything left unspoken. Amy stares at Ty, her heart a tangled storm of love, pain, and disbelief. "I thought I'd never see you again," she chokes out, her voice breaking under the weight of it all. Ty reaches for her hand, a simple touch that says more than any words could, and together they sit, tears streaming, letting the silence say what their hearts can't yet voice. Finally, Ty begins to explain the danger he was in, the impossible choices he had to make to keep them safe. Amy listens, every word carving into her heart like a blade. Her voice trembles when she says, "You should have trusted me, Ty. We were always a team." He nods, shame and sorrow flooding his face. "I know," he whispers. "And not a day went by that I didn't love you. I thought I was doing the right thing." Pain, love, regret, it all bleeds into the space between them. But slowly, as they talk, their hearts begin to knit back together, one fragile stitch at a time. Amy tells Ty about Lindy, her first words, her first steps, the fears she faced growing up without him. Ty listens with aching eyes, grieving all the moments he missed. Then Amy looks at him, really looks, and says, her voice soft but steady, "She deserves to know you." "We both do." Ty's tears fall freely now. "I'll spend the rest of my life making it right," he promises, his voice cracking. "You'll let me?" And just like that, amidst the wreckage of what was lost, a new beginning quietly, beautifully takes root. It's a moment of raw vulnerability, one filled with hurt, but also with the undeniable spark of love that still binds them. A possible future glimmers on the horizon, not perfect, but real and deeply human. And there we have it, Heartland family. What a journey it's been! Ty Borden's return in Heartland Season 19, Episode 1 wasn't just surprising, it was profoundly human. It was a story about pain and healing, about the power of forgiveness, about the unbreakable threads of love that time and distance can never sever. Amy's tears, Lindy's innocent smile, Jack's quiet strength, Lou's forgiveness, George's resilience, Tim's hidden heart, every moment came together to create an episode that will live in our hearts for a long, long time. But now, I want to hear from you. What did you think of Ty's return? Did it live up to everything you hoped for? Do you believe Ty and Amy can truly rebuild the beautiful life they once dreamed of? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read each and every one, and your words mean more than you know. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you're always the first to know when a new piece of Heartland magic drops here on Next Scene. Your support, your passion, and your love for this show are what make this community so special, and I'm beyond grateful to share this journey with each and every one of you. Until next time, Heartlanders, stay kind, stay strong, and keep believing in the magic of family, love, and Heartland.